Quartz is the most common yet diverse mineral on Earth. What makes quartz different from clear glass? Quartz is a 7 on the Mohs scale of hardness, and glass is a 5. If you scratch glass and quartz together, the quartz will be fine. The glass is going to get scratched up. This is a good way to check the legitimacy if you don't have a tester. If you drop quartz on the ground, it will not shatter like glass, it fractures. This crystal withstands heat, pressure, and chemicals. The sturdiness and light bending properties of quartz are why it's used for many tools like cell phones, GPS, cameras, telescopes, microscopes, watches, and lasers. Quartz is the base structure for a lot of other gemstones like citrine, amethyst, pink amethyst, black amethyst, rose quartz, smoky quartz, Lemurian quartz, hematoid quartz, epidote quartz, and the very notable Herkimer diamonds. We will discuss Herkimer diamonds in this video, but those other variants deserve their own episodes. For now, we're focusing on traditional clear quartz. The elements in quartz are silicon and oxygen. One silicon atom combined with 2 oxygen atoms. The formation of Herkimer diamonds, or Herkimer diamonds, began in Herkimer County nearly 500 million years ago when the limy sediments that accumulated in the salty waters of an ancient sea were gradually compacted under the weight of thousands of feet of sediment and rock. Water seeped through the pores of the rock, creating eroded spaces. Millions of years later, water rich with silica filled the spaces and then eventually drained away, leaving behind silica deposits. Over time, cycles of precipitation, heat, and pressure eventually formed the beautiful double-terminated quartz crystals we all know as Herkimer diamonds. Herkimer County is one of the few known places in the world where these crystals are easily found, and only crystals mined in this area can rightfully be called Herkimers. Although widely referred to as diamonds, Herkimer diamonds are actually quartz crystals, not diamonds. These quartz crystals are easily recognizable because they form naturally with 18 facets and are double terminated, which means pointy on both ends. These gems are usually exceptionally clear and exhibit a brilliant sparkle, but might also be smoky or contain rainbow inclusions, skeletal inclusions, air bubbles, or black carbon deposits. A totally natural, rough quartz specimen will not be completely perfect. Some sides of the surface will have striations. Striations, sometimes referred to as barcodes, are parallel raised ridges or steps found on the lower faces of quartz crystals. Very rarely striations can be found on the upper faces of the crystal. There are other types of etching that occur naturally. Anhydrobubbles are another notable formation that takes place inside of quartz. This water was trapped inside during the original formation process. What makes this water different from all the other water in the water cycle is that it was never exposed to the Industrial Revolution. Some edges may not be perfectly straight, but no two specimens form exactly the same. They share similar traits, including a hexagonal crystal structure, with pointed terminations at each end. With polished quartz, the edges will look perfect and the faces are clean. These type of beveled edges do not naturally occur in quartz. I love this piece specifically, even though it's polished. I'm not saying don't buy polished rocks. I just want people to know what it is they've purchased. Someone may have polished rocks thinking that's how they grew in the cave, which isn't true. Quartz contains naturally occurring iridescence. These rainbow flashes come in multiple forms, the first being internal fractures. These are caused by massive amounts of underground pressure and temperature change. The exhumation process can also create these tiny fractures. The shape of these fractures is classified as conchoidal, which means they're curvy and have ridges along the fracture surface. When light passes through these internal fractures and disperse, it breaks out into its Roy G. Biv components. When light passes through mediums with different densities, the wave will speed up or slow down. Here's a quote from Truth Minerals. Perhaps we can allow rainbows from crystal fractures to remind us to keep going when times get rough. When you lose or fall and feel fractured, broken, damaged, you're simply reshaping your internal structure. Crystal surface growth is another mode for these rainbows. Some quartz specimens have tiny regrowth towers on top of a bigger formation. The difference in density between the smaller and bigger towers can cause the light to disperse and bounce back, creating that beautiful iridescence. Nikola Tesla did hundreds of tests and experiments using quartz crystals regarding resonance and oscillation. These crystals vibrate at incredible frequencies, with a pulse rate of around 786,000 times per millisecond, making them the most vibrating objects on the planet. Our thoughts have a frequency. Those thoughts create emotions and feelings which have a frequency. The frequency of our emotions is projected into the energy field and processed through the energy centers known as chakras. These frequencies also have a color. The color, structure, and locality of each crystal is linked to its frequency. Triboluminescence is the glow you get from applying mechanical stress to quartz. The charged atoms and electrons on the surface get knocked free. Then they collide with molecules in the air and knock loose even more charged particles. As they recombine, those charged particles create little shocks, like mini lightning. In order to create triboluminescence, rocks must have asymmetric lattice structure. They can't have perfect rows of atoms. The piezoelectric effect is the property of a crystal producing an electric charge under mechanical stress, and producing mechanical stress under electric charge. Quartz are also known for being metaphysically beneficial as conduits of spirituality, memory, love, energy, and healing. It's believed that they have the power to relieve pain, have a purifying effect, and an ability to stimulate the immune system. Dubbed dream rocks, some claim that sleeping with one in your pillow will enhance your dreams. People in the earliest recorded times believed in the magical powers of quartz. Ancient Roman, Egyptian, and Greek civilizations used quartz crystals. The word quartz is thought to come from the German word quarz, and the word crystal comes from the Greek word kristallos, which means ice. The ancient Japanese believed quartz formed from the breath of a white dragon and regarded it as representing perfection. Quartz has been used throughout history in rain rituals, crystal skulls, and spheres. It has been called the universal crystal because of its many uses, and it's beneficial for manifesting, meditation, protection, and channeling. Due to its ability to balance, quartz is excellent for harmonizing and stabilizing one's environment and is helpful in romantic relationships. It is also believed to improve mental and physical energy, stamina, and physical strength. Quartz enhances spiritual growth, spirituality, and wisdom. Because it clarifies thought processing and emotions, it can increase inspiration and creativity. It can also help with concentration, studying, and retaining what one learns. If you learned something new from this video, or have anything else to share that I missed, the comments are open. Thanks for watching. Wishing you peace, love, and prosperity.